Hey there, how you guys doing out there? In ER Shredland, we've got a Heart of ER Shredder, of ER Shred that I need to announce. And so I will do that. Um, I'll do that first because I've got it in my mind how to say the last name properly. And I see and say a lot of names and I butcher a lot of names. So I'm going to go right ahead with that. But then I do have another message that I'd like to share with you, just some thoughts that are on my mind that I think could be beneficial. But tonight, just want to announce that we want to recognize an individual who's devoted a lot to ER Shred, um, shown up for a very long period of time. And we are just so grateful for those individuals who do that because they don't have to do that. And they do it out of the goodness of their heart. They do it to share it forward. And they really make it what it's all about. So um, the award is named after Mimi Terrell and in her honor. And on behalf of the ER Shred Board, I would like to recognize Susan Durden Hermance as the newest Heart of ER Shred award recipient. So thank you, Susan, for everything, and we appreciate you so much. I'm sure there'll be a call tomorrow night. I'm sure that everyone, please do go wish Susan congratulations and celebrate her because it's a big deal to us, and I'm sure it's a big deal to her, and I hope it's a big deal to all of you because it's all about celebrating those people who just give and give and give of themselves. And so thank you for that. Tomorrow night, I'm sure Jesse has a Shred Your Body call. Wednesday night will be the Come Alive call. Thursday night will be Shredders Unite with Bob. And so, thank you, Heather. Heather's going to post that up, the photo of Susan with the recognition. So thank you, Heather. Chief Shreducator. What else? I have something I wanted to share with you guys, especially all of you seasoned ER shredders that have forged your own food blueprint, or it's probably an ongoing basis because Crystal and I are still forging or forming our food blueprint that's specific to us. That's one of the things that I love the most about ER Shred is that the food blueprint is unique to you. And why wouldn't it be? Because biochemistry is unique as a fingerprint. No two people are alike. And that's what you'll find is that you need to learn how to listen to your body. And that's really what ER Shred is doing for people. It's teaching people how to listen to their body. Now, beyond that, we begin to identify these, what we call culprits. And in order to identify such culprits, we have to get to a baseline. That baseline is pretty damn important and it's pretty empowering. It teaches you how your body speaks to you and in what ways. And that could be unique to the individual. For me, for instance, one of the ways that my body speaks to me is an unwell gut, loose stool, and feeling like I need to go to the bathroom again and again. Another way that my body speaks to me when I have encountered a culprit is brain fog. It's actually my body's way of saying, I don't feel my best. And for whatever reason, whatever you fed me, whatever, it's not doing well by me. And it's really, really cool when you become intuitive around this and you start to listen to your body. Whereas before ER Shred, you just ate so many things in such varieties, so many different ingredients, so many different combinations of foods and ingredients that you never could pinpoint what it was that was causing you problems. You never could know. And then you just take things to mask symptoms. And that is really a disservice. When you mask symptoms with things like antacids, you're really doing yourself an incredible disservice. Because why? Because that is your body screaming at you. Whatever you did, whatever you put in me, whatever combination of things, I didn't like it, didn't serve me. Now, I've been able to identify so many food culprits for me, and it's been unbelievably empowering. But just recently, I just found another one, and I want to share it with all of you. And that food culprit is really interesting for me personally. The reason it's interesting for me is because it's not a food per se. I have been able to determine that stress is a culprit for me. Stress. When I'm under a tremendous amount of stress, I begin to notice that I become unwell in those same ways. It's very fascinating. So everybody could have different feedback, if you will, from the body. And your feedback could be emotional. It could be that you're in a bad mood, that you're angry or sad, or that you're withdrawn, that you're reclusive. It could be all kinds of things. Some people notice pain in different parts of their body when their body's speaking to them. And there's so many other different, and I would encourage you to get familiar with our group, because people post all kinds of different signs, if you will, of how the body's speaking to people. I love it. I think it's fascinating to learn how everybody's different, and certain people, their body speaks to them in different ways. So with all of that said, how do I know when I've had the culprit stress? I'll give you an example. Last week, I had an offer come in on a home that I'm selling. And it's really bad timing for me to sell this home for a variety of reasons. I won't go into all of that. Some of that's just personal. But the offer came in, and I felt inclined to entertain the offer. I felt inclined to try to make it work. And I got really, really, really unwell as a result of the stress that it was causing me. And it's fascinating because for me, I became unwell in the same way that food culprits affect me. And I started to ask myself, how could this be? I haven't eaten anything different. I haven't eaten any corn. I haven't eaten any soy. I haven't eaten any refined sugars. I haven't had anything, my diet is so good, so good. And I thought about it, and I began to, process, what have I done different? What have I done different? What have I done different? And guess what it was? We might put it in these terms. I consumed stress. I ate stress. You see? And fascinating that stress could have that effect on me, that physical effect on me. Kind of wondered if it was real, kind of wondered how accurate it was. So I shut it down. I actually shut it down and said, this is not going to work right now, and therefore I had to shut it down for my own well-being. That was about a week ago, I believe. Fascinating stuff, because it circled back again today, and the offer was there again today. Basically, the offer was there, but it kind of ignored or brushed aside all of my concerns and all of the personal things that I'm dealing with. And once again, because the stress of the situation and my situation around different things was so significant, once again, same as exact symptoms today. And there I go. There it is again. Stress, a culprit for me. Fascinating. Very fascinating. And this is part of, I hope you can somehow internalize that and personalize that. Or if you can't, I hope you have the opportunity at some point in the near future that you might have, sounds kind of funny because I'm kind of wishing a stressful event upon you, but I'm sure that all of us have different ways and abilities and strengths around dealing with stress. And some of us probably have, Brent said, his hair turns gray. That's that's a good one, Brent. Because, yeah, symptomatic, right? But there again, I hope that you do have the opportunity to determine if stress is a culprit for you. I have a sneaky feeling that stress is probably a culprit for most of us, just like soy is. Probably not good for us, and therefore we probably need to, in the case of me, what did I do? I couldn't stop the fact that it impacted me. I couldn't stop the fact that it caused me to have loose stool. Yes, stress indeed caused me to have loose stool. I couldn't stop the fact that it causes my brain to feel funky, and it causes my focus to be diminished. When you've gotten really good at feeling really good for any length of time, it becomes very apparent when you're not at your optimal, and you just find it unacceptable. You just can't tolerate it. You want to feel your best. For me, I have identified now of certainty that stress is a culprit for me. And fortunately, in this case, whereas in years past, I would have probably pressed forward in spite of my better judgment, in spite of my body speaking to me and screaming at me and begging me to honor the body. And instead, I would have forced it instead of flow with what I really need to do, or what will work, and what serves me and my family. Fascinating. I'm fascinated by it. I actually feel really happy about it. Although I did have another bad day today in the form of my culprit stress kind of getting the better of me today, I also had a huge win today, because I was able to determine that not only are all of these foods that I might consume potential culprits for me, but there are other forms of culprits. And that's truly what 2022, the mantra of discovering you in 2022, is all about. There's depth. For me, this is deep, very deep, because what I found, this is my revelation, if you will, is that if I could just identify these things, I don't have to know how to fix them. I don't need all the answers. I don't need all the training. I don't need all the education. If I can identify these things and I just switch the light on and I shine a light on them, then somehow, some way, the miracle that is me knows what to do about it. That's what I've determined is the gift. All you got to do is become aware of whatever it is. Could be a lot of things. Become aware of it, shine a light on it, expose it. And that kind of accountability, if you will, that kind of honesty, even with yourself, causes it to just disappear. I'm excited because I am going to learn via true empowerment how to not consume this stress, just as I've overcome so many other things. And that will take me one more step closer to optimal health every day of my life. And for me, that excites me. All right, you guys, we'll see you on the calls. Love you guys. Bye-bye.